President Trump sharing the title of Most Admired Man with former President Barack Obama. That, according to an annual Gallup poll of Americans. This is the first time that President Trump has topped the list, and the 12th time for Obama, both receiving 18% of the vote. Former President Jimmy Carter, tech entrepreneur Elon Musk, and Microsoft founder Bill Gates also rounding out the top five with 2% each. So a distant, ending there to that. A big boost of support from Republicans this year, netting 45% of the vote from them. That is up from 32% last year. Hence, we are looking at this. What does this tell us? Not surprising. We are in a political era where people are so deeply divided. So I don't find this super shocking. Marie, your thoughts?
I've said for a while that I think Donald Trump is going to be harder to beat than many Democrats think. That we look at the headlines and we look at the tweets and some of the really awful, terrible behavior of his, but there is a large segment of the population who still admires him, according to this poll, who still supports him. So just politically, I look at this and I say, Democrats need to get their stuff together before we head into 2020, because I think he's more popular than we on the left would like to believe sometimes, and that's what this poll is really telling me.
It's not just that they like him. I mean, if you look at that poll, they like him. So it was 32% last year, 45% this year. So the Democrats have thrown everything they can at him.
And Republicans just like him more.
And they like him more. And I think what it is that Republicans are really appreciating a fighter. They've kind of sat back and taken the abuse, I think, for a long time. And Donald Trump, they love that energy.
And that's another reason why I don't think that impeachment has been working out very well for Democrats, because it has made President Trump look like a martyr to the people who already supported him. They support him even more hardcore now, which you might not have thought would be possible.
Brad, I want to bring you in because Marie said something really interesting a moment ago, that there are Democrats out there that perhaps don't think the president may be hard to beat. I have been to the rallies when he was in his first race, and then he continued to hold these rallies. They are packed to the gills, to the ceilings. He is filling airport hangars to this day. Does this poll speak to what Marie is talking about?
Look, what doesn't harm him makes him stronger. And he's been through the mill.
That's a song I love.
A 24/7 news cycle of bashing him, a Congress who's abusing the Constitution to get rid of him. You can't hate a president out of office. You got to elect him or not elect him. And guess what? That's our job. It's not anybody else's job. And the fact is that Donald Trump is delivering. Donald Trump, with all his bluster and blunder and braggadocio, because he does, that's part of salesmanship, he's under-promised and over-delivered for the people. Promises made are promises kept on the economy, on foreign policy, on the military. So you can't beat a record. Apparently, Democrats feel that way, so they try and use every other method to harm him, that he will not be electable in November, and it's backfired all the way.
Some of that record, though, I think will be on the ballot. The fact that the tariffs have cost manufacturing job losses, they've made prices higher. The Fed this week said that. But it's so interesting. What we will see starting in a couple weeks in Iowa, right, is that we are heading into this election season with the next presidential race after 2016, an election that was not decided by that many people. Right, the actual number of voters in the states that put Trump over the top, it wasn't that big of a margin. And the elections we've had since
Donald Trump won the election fair and square.
No, he did.
If your people didn't come out, that's your problem.
Of course it is.
But our people are coming out.
They are.
I agree with you. My point is that in the 2018 midterms, Democrats took the House. And so now we're heading into 2020 thinking, okay, what do polls like this Gallup poll mean? What are the polls we're starting to see out of some of these early states or these swing states? And we're going to start having the Democrats here having this conversation in the party about who they think they can win in this whole political atmosphere. This is the interesting question heading into 2020.
And all these polls are fun to look at, but as you mentioned, the voters, they're going to be the real poll. Here we go into an election year. All right, thank you, Brad Blakeman.
Thank you.
Wonderful to have you here with us.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to everyone out there as well.